I'm Tony Scar with bnetTV. We are here at the Broadband World Forum in Amsterdam for 2012, and I am speaking with Alcatel.Lucent's Velocix, Mr. Paul Larbey. How are you today, sir?
Good, thanks, Tony. How are you?
Very well, my friend. Very well. Thank you very much for coming on the show and taking the opportunity to speak with us.
Yeah, no problem at all. Looking forward to it.
So, for all of our viewers, why don't you explain a little bit about what you're doing here at the show, what Velocix is, and how you got involved with Alcatel?
Sure. So Velocix is the CDN group within Alcatel.Lucent. The company was acquired by Alcatel.Lucent back in July 2009. And really we focus on taking CDN technology and professional services and delivering that to service providers. And there are a number of different applications of that. The first is to enable service providers who have their own pay TV offerings to take that sort of linear channel lineup and video on demand library and deliver that to IP connected devices, iPads, connected TVs, games consoles, etc.
So have the CDNs finally said to the rest of the ecosystem, hurrah, we made it, we told you we were going to make it in here, because CDNs have been around for a long time, but really they didn't get their just due until the broadband was able to keep up with the idea of dishing out, especially larger over-the-top type content.
Yeah, so I think on-net CDNs are it's quite a relatively new market. You know, we've been playing in here since 2007, 2008. It's really started to take off at scale now, and I think a few things have triggered that. Is firstly, the focus on taking that CDN technology to deliver your your TV services to connected devices. So that's a new application of CDN technology, and also there's more and more now we're seeing service providers try to use that CDN technology in addition to offering their own pay TV services to engage with the over-the-top content providers to add a little more value to the offer.
What makes Velocix or a CDN better than, let's say, I don't know, another CDN? I won't necessarily name names, but what makes it a better CDN?
So I think there are a couple of things unique within our CDN. Firstly, we're the market leader. Nobody else has the volume of deployments that we do, so there's a level of experience and scale that comes with that. Secondly, as sort of from operating a CDN, what we got was a level of experience, knowledge and understanding about the market that allows us to quite uniquely offer a build, operate, transfer scheme for our customers. So like you mentioned, service providers, CDN is very new. There can be quite a lot of the delay in launching services is in training the operations team. So what we offer is a build, operate, transfer service. So we will take that, at the early stages, take that responsibility away from the service provider, help them to do that. Then when they're ready, help them to manage the transition to building their own and managing their own CDN network.
And the operator has the ability to use multiple CDN networks. Are you able to compatibly use some of their partners as well?
Yeah, so in most of the customers where we're deployed, it's very much for an on-net CDN focus. So generally there is only one CDN on-net. If you try and deliver off-net services, then that's where a lot of the service providers partner with some of the global CDNs to give that global delivery. We're very much focused on optimizing the experience towards their broadband subscribers.
So let's talk about some of the news that you launched here at the show.
Yeah, so we launched a product here we call Eve, the Enhanced Video Experience. And really that's adding a level of session awareness and intelligence on top of the CDN layer. So it comprises of 3 products, some enhancements to our existing CDN product, the introduction of a carrier-grade origin, which allows us to do some preparation of the content in addition to the standard origin functionalities, and a session manager to provide that session awareness. And that between the 3 of those, that opens up a whole host of possibilities in what you can do with a video, from making the network more efficient by repackaging the edge of the network and changing between the different streaming formats at the edge of the network, to reducing the channel change time, to, I think what is quite important, to start to manage the different devices that are available in the home and optimize the stream for those different devices.
Is it also more about, the optimizing the stream is great, right? So that's obviously going to be at the top end of what a CDN needs, functionality needs to do. But collecting data of the user as well to be able to market back to the operator. This is the times they're watching. These are the programs that they're watching. These are the true analytics that were a little bit more on the guessing game side before. We're getting a little bit more defined for contextual-based advertising, for those types of systems.
Yeah, so personalized advertising is one of the use cases of the products that we built.
Wow, that is weird that I chose that.
So the CDN has a whole host of analytics, and we've not built a new ad decision engine. What we've done is build a capability in the CDN to take information that's collected in the ad engines and the campaign managers, and to produce that personalized adverts within the CDN itself at the edge of the network at scale. Because I think that's the key with a lot of these systems, is there's lots of point systems out there to do different elements of it. But to be able to get it so you can deploy at really massive scale is something we've built a lot of expertise in from the CDN perspective. So it's natural to sort of extend those capabilities and build them into the network in a way that really does scale and offer true carrier class performance.
Has there been any pushback on the operator or consumer side on saying, hey, wait a second, we're giving up too much info?
No, I don't think. I think analytics is a way to go in terms of the industry, in terms of how it's going to be used, and there's certainly a lot of buzz about analytics, and there's a lot of knowledge in the operators themselves. I think yet we've really started to see any substantial application of that knowledge into real services. So I think that's something that will come, and that's a debate I think we'll have, but I don't think we're quite at that point yet, so especially in Europe.
I would tend to agree with you actually on a global scale, but I also know that the majority of consumers at our particular professional level have always endorsed the idea that, hey, I'm more than willing to give up my information if I'm getting something that's going to be for me or right for me at the times that I'm seeing it.
Yeah, and that's the traditional opt-in method. I think as a couple of service providers have done that very successfully. I mean, that's all we do is take whatever information the service provider is happy to use and share, and take that and use that to apply the adverts at the CDN level.
So I'm going to move on to sort of what you're doing here at Broadband again, and why it's important to be involved.
So it's clearly a great show. It's a great chance to meet lots of people in the same place. It's an important show for us. That's one of the reasons we're launching our product here today. Because I think one of the things about broadband, it's not just the deployment of the broadband itself, it's the applications and what you can do over the top. And that's really where our expertise is from a CDN perspective, in terms of those, the enhancements in terms of broadband speeds are absolutely critical for us in creating a better video experience, and that's really where our focus is.
Let's talk about some of those broadband speeds. So one of the jobs of a CDN is to manage the stream at the level of the user or user's device. So, there are a lot of times where the consumer is unhappy with their end connection, although they may think that they were supposed to get some thicker speeds. That doesn't necessarily always happen, so that's where the CDN gets to jump in and say, hey, we can throttle that and push and pull and make sure you're having the best experience that we can possibly give you. Being part of the Broadband World Forum here, being at this show, are you engaged in conversations on the increase of pipe that's coming down the pipe?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and traditional CDNs don't really tailor the stream to the device. They just optimally cache it and deliver it from the right point in the network. Part of the EVE product that we've launched is adding intelligence in, so you can understand where the subscriber is, how they're connected, and on what device, and therefore manage the stream accordingly. Because one of the good things that came in the industry from a technology innovation was adaptive streaming and HTTP adaptive streaming, and that's great. But that was designed to work over the internet. So every client is inherently greedy. So if you're sitting at home, depending on the aggressiveness of the client, you could have an iPad getting a higher bit rate than a 60-inch connected TV, which clearly doesn't make sense. So one of the things we're working on is to take that device intelligence and to modify the available bit rates available to the end device based on what the device is, where it is, and maybe on some subscription levels as well, right?
Fantastic. Paul, thanks very much for getting the opportunity to speak with us here today at Broadband World Forum. Hope we get a chance for an update again in the future.
Great. Nice to meet you.
Excellent. I've been speaking with Velocix from Alcatel.Lucent, Mr. Paul Larbey here at Broadband World Forum in Amsterdam for 2012, and I am Tony Sklar with bnetTV.